Quorum by J.C. Newman. Hey everybody, welcome to this Cigar vlog. So it kind of dawned on me that I don't think I've ever actually reviewed a Quorum cigar. I've smoked a fuck ton of them over the years, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, these are not my favorite. They're not bad, but well, let's just go ahead and get into them and see how they roll. Hey, there's a wild-ass motorcycle right out the gate. I don't know how well this shows up, but there is a particularly huge cap on there, so you can be relatively aggressive in your cut. But this band is coming off immediately because that is so loose. Okay. So Quorums are kind of known for being a little on the budget end. Okay, door's okay. All right, come on now, cooperate. So right off the gate, clean tobacco, a little earth, a little sweet. Not bad. I think one of the things I've always noticed about these is that they have a particularly earthy quality to them. So we'll see if that actually ends up being a hallmark of this one. Also, there's like a loose bit of tobacco on the wrapper here. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. I think that just got stuck there from something else. But so far, they've always been competently made and competently blended. Kind of got to be a little careful around this region. I think a couple of weeks back, some homeless guy came through and just like tore ass through here. But yeah, it's a flaky cut. So I'm hoping these are not mixed filler, but anyway, let's see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and unplug my light and get back to the first inch. Okay, so pretty solid inch in. And yeah, it's exactly how it started. Like, no change at all. I'm kind of starting to wonder if these are mixed filler or not. I don't actually know, so don't quote me on that. But anyway, flavor is very earthy, a little sweet. That's one of the things I've always noticed about this. They always have that kind of a slightly dirty flavor to them, you know? And that's what the whole earthiness is, the whole dirt flavor. You know, you're not going to get away from that from pretty much any cigar that has that. And most cigars are going to have a little bit of earthiness to them because, you know, it's a plant, it's growing in dirt, right? And just so far, the sweet notes are just not quite strong enough to overcome that earthiness. That's what that is wanting to unravel on me. On the plus side, retrohale has a nice little graham cracker note to it. So far, about what I was expecting. Which means these aren't really anything to write home about, at least not yet. Hopefully, this will end up waking up a little bit, but if all else fails, I like how they have a really nice toothy wrapper on there. It's got those little bumps on there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but those little pockets of tobacco flavor. So here's hoping those end up jumping to the forefront. And I'm going to go ahead and get this down to the halfway point and see if anything wakes up or changes. Okay, so we're about the halfway point. And I noticed after the first inch, for starters, the smoke is very, very wispy. So at certain points you feel like you kind of have to double puff on it, so just be a little weary of that, or leery of that. But you actually be weary of smoking this, hopefully not. Anyway, after that first inch, I've kind of noticed towards the midpoint here, it's kind of started opening up and getting a little bit of baking spice going on, which is kind of nice. Retrohale remains exactly the same. There's still a very, very earthy quality to it. but it's kind of nice. That's actually kind of developing a little bit. I want to say there's maybe like a slight addition of a lightly floral note in the retrotail. Very, very light though. Overall, nice to see that this is actually kind of opening up a little bit. So hopefully the rest of it will be fine and dandy. Also, it's been like the first nice, like not 90-degree day in a couple of weeks here, or like a week or so. So obviously everybody's out trying to run me over with their bicycle and scooter. Which kind of makes you wonder, what is the point of the electric scooter? You know, it's like the whole point of the scooter is like, you know, the whole thing before you get a bicycle, it's like the first wheels that you have to push yourself along with. If you get an electric, all of a sudden you're buzzing down the road like 30 miles an hour, you know. First big rock you see, you're going head first into the concrete. I'm sorry, but just, and that kind of defeats the purpose of, you know, manually operated vehicles in the first place. Anyway, that's just me ranting about stupid shit. I'm gonna go ahead and get this down to the nub and see if anything makes some changes or intensifies. Hopefully this will end up getting better. Okay, pretty much down to the nub here. Wind has started to kick up, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to kind of get out of here before I get dumped on. Flavors have been pretty consistent, but they do build, and you get a much more predominantly baking spice note. Yeah, baking spice, you know, a graham crackery retrohale. The earthiness really does die down after the halfway point. So overall, not my favorite, but not bad. For the price, well, probably one of the better budget cigars you're gonna find. Okay, so after almost getting run over by bicyclists going both ways, I think I better wrap this up because it is looking like somebody opened an oblivion gate. Okie dokie, so yeah, overall starts off a little mediocre, but finishes quite nicely. I'm gonna say definitely check them out if you, especially if you can find them on a budget. To my knowledge, they've never really been particularly expensive, but that's not a bad thing. I keep trying to think of something else to say because these are actually not bad. Like I said, they start off a little overly earthy, but as you go, they do get better. They get actually pretty good. So definitely check them out if you're looking for a good everyday. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, all right, so that's all I got for this one. If you like this review and any other review, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you've ever had issues stuttering over your own tongue. Beyond that, yeah, that's it. I'll see you next time.